From The National, this is Trending Middle East. I'm Yasmin Al-Taji. It's Wednesday, July 23rd. Here are today's headlines. Starvation is on the rise in the Gaza Strip. Israel's constant bombardment and blockade on aid supplies are proving a deadly combination. At least 21 children died of starvation and malnutrition in Gaza over the past 3 days, the Palestinian Health Ministry said on Tuesday. The UN warned of doctors fainting on duty due to hunger and exhaustion. The National's Rakan Abdelrahman has been reporting from Gaza since the beginning of Israel's campaign. Here he is with more on what he's seen and his own experience dealing with drastic food shortages.
A significant level of starvation is gripping Gaza, where people literally cannot find even a loaf of bread. People on the streets are collapsing from hunger. Food shortages in Gaza affect everyone, but children are the hardest hit by the starvation.
Western countries have condemned what they called the, quote, drip feeding of aid by Israel. More than 1,000 aid seekers have been killed.
Medical teams providing health care for injuries under unprecedented conditions experience constant dizziness and exhaustion. Also, journalists who cover the war. Me personally, I struggle every day to find any kind of food for my children, leading to many nights where they go hungry. I have been looking for milk for my 2-year baby for over 4 days and yet have not found it. The closure of most Gaza charity kitchens has left Gazans with no food, literally. Thus, people are left with no options but to seek food in so-called Israeli U.S. aid centers, where they are killed by Israeli tanks, snipers, and other military forces.
Speaking during a press conference late on Monday, UN spokesman Stefan Dujarric renewed a call for the safe and sustained delivery of humanitarian aid into Gaza. The Israeli military launched a drone strike against pro-government troops in southern Syria on Tuesday. That's according to sources in Jordan. The strike on Sueda province was the Israeli army's first attack on Syria since last week. It had targeted government troops and allied militia forces from Syria's Sunni majority, who had aimed to capture Sueda city. The National's Khaled Yacoub reports.
Despite the U.S. brokered truce last week, violence has continued in Syria's southern governorate of Sueda, the focal point of a government attack over the last week that aimed at subduing the area's Druze minority.
Sueda city is the provincial capital and the heartland of the Druze minority in Syria. It's been the center of heavy fighting. Thousands of fighters have been posted near the border with Jordan as part of the offensive.
Government forces tried to take Sueda city, the provincial capital, but withdrew under Israeli strikes as well as U.S. diplomatic pressure. However, the government forces and auxiliaries are still in Sueda, especially in an area northeast of Sueda city, in the vicinity of the city of Shahba.
Israel has accused Damascus of breaching demilitarization deals that had forbidden the Syrian government from deploying the military in the south, where Sueda is. The government is mainly comprised of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, which led the assault that toppled former President Bashar al-Assad in December.
Israel mounted a drone attack on a militia column loyal to the government that was near Shahba, according to sources in Jordan as well as in Sueda. Shahba city and its surrounding countryside is adjacent to the main highway linking Sueda governorate to Damascus. The objective of the attacks on Sueda appeared to be to secure government control on the main highway from Sueda to Damascus.
Sueda was a center of a non-violent protest against the Assad regime in the last year of his rule. But the Druze spiritual leadership, which had mostly opposed the former regime, also resisted the takeover of power by HTS. Iran is saying it will not abandon its nuclear program, including uranium enrichment. That's ahead of renewed talks with European powers set to be held in Istanbul on Friday. The dialogue with Britain, France, and Germany, also known as the E3, will be the first since Tehran's 12-day war with Israel last month. The U.S. had also joined that war, striking 3 key Iranian nuclear facilities, which U.S. President Donald Trump said had been, quote-unquote, obliterated. But the strikes don't appear to be a long-term setback for Tehran's plans. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi made the statement in an interview with Fox News, aired on Monday.
Well, our facilities have been damaged, seriously damaged. The extent of which is now under evaluation by our Atomic Energy Organization. But as far as I know, they are seriously damaged.
U.S. President Donald Trump responded to Araghchi's comments on his social media platform, Truth Social. He said Washington would carry out strikes again, quote, if necessary, unquote. Iran and the U.S. had entered a nuclear deal under the Obama administration in 2015. Trump unilaterally withdrew the U.S. from the deal in 2018 during his first term and reimposed sanctions. That's all for this morning's headlines. You can get more on these stories and follow our live coverage at thenationalnews.com. Yasmin Altaji, The National.